Steph's on. Hello,
Hi.
Steph.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. We already have thousands of viewers waiting for you to come on.
8,000 by the looks of it.
All right, should we give everyone like a minute to join on, and then let's give everyone a second.
I can just see the numbers going up in the hundreds.
They've all come to see you, Steph.
I'm not sure about that, Daniele.
All right, a few minutes before 4. Though I can see everyone join. I don't want to start too early.
I think we can start. This will be recorded.
Yeah? Okay, let me have a little. Have you got some water there, Steph? Good, good, good. Okay, so everybody, welcome to the third in our live series for the Gold Service Scholarship. My name's Daniele Quattromini. I'm a former scholar in 2015, and I'm the operations manager at the North Restaurant at the Quattromini, London. I'm delighted to be talking to my good friend. What's it been for you in Cornwall?
I'm so sorry, Daniele. I don't know if it's my internet here or if it's yours. It just went crackly for a second. Oh, I've got you back, I think.
Did you hear the question?
Bear with me 1 second.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just coming through quite crackly. Sorry, yeah. How have things been in Cornwall?
Exactly.
I mean, I imagine it's been pretty similar everywhere. We were really lucky, I guess, that we had sort of all of December open, whereas I know you guys up in London were closed down for a lot longer than we were. So in a way, I guess we've been lucky to have been able to open again after the lockdown in November. But obviously, you know, summer was pretty crazy down here following the first lockdown. I think it's the busiest I've ever seen Cornwall, and I've been coming here since I was 6. So I really have never seen it that busy. So it was kind of 0 to 100 miles an hour within the course of a week from opening the pig, which is exciting, and I think none of us quite expected that. How's it been for you guys in?
Oh, I think your internet just dropped out there again. But I think, obviously, from being in a lockdown scenario and having to reopen again, I mean, what challenges did that bring on for you and for your team?
It's obviously, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it has been difficult. Having to obviously do the first hotel opening. We opened for the first time in July 1st, to then close down and reopen for the second time. It was hard, and you know, in a way, it gave us the opportunity, I think, to get to know the team a little bit better, because we found that during lockdown, you know, we maintained that close connection with the team, and we've done a lot of Zoom trainings and probably all bonded in a way over lockdown and out of the shared experience, that when we opened again for the second time, I think the team was much stronger. But yeah, opening and closing, it's never ideal to do that so often. But I think, you know, when are we ever going to get to open a hotel again, where when you've been open for 3 months, you get to close the whole hotel and reset everything? You know, you have a chance to look back and see what you could have done differently, and a chance to sort of put things into perspective. So in a way, it was probably a good opportunity for us to reset.
Yeah, exactly. And I think even for us at the Quattromini, London, obviously having to close has been absolutely shocking for our industry, and we can't believe we've done it again. But I would say that the whole F&B team and the hotel team really did come together. And, you know, that was something that maybe wasn't easily done in the past, but I think it really helped us all to reopen in a different way. All the teams were much closer together than before. Like you say, we had to connect over Zoom. You know, I think everyone understands now that you have to mute before you go on, and use headphones and so on. But I do strongly believe that our food and beverage team is much stronger now, having pulled together to actually get the job done and reopen in the manner that we did. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
we had to trial several things, and out of it we've got our garden lounge, which has been just so successful in the summer, and even so in the autumn. We were just so gutted that we only got a couple of weeks in December for our winter garden theme. So, but you'll all have to stay tuned to what we do when we can reopen.
It looks amazing. I can't wait to come and visit. Honestly, the garden one looks so great.
I've just seen Edward has signed on, so we should say hello to Edward. And
Edward.
Thomas Cox is there as well, so hello, Thomas. He's watching. All right. So, I mean, obviously here to talk about the scholarship, but firstly, how did you get involved in hospitality?
Gosh, I mean, I think it was one of those situations where, probably not for you because you studied it at university, but for me, it was almost a bit of an accident. I didn't know what I wanted to do after uni. I studied English literature in Birmingham, and didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I kind of, came down to Cornwall, got a job in a couple of different restaurants, and it was when I was working for Rick Stein that I think I first realised what the industry can do for you as a whole and what hospitality really means. It went from being a waitress to really understanding, you can change people's lives for the evening when you give them great service and great hospitality. And it was what I learned at Rick Stein's that kind of made me want to stay in hospitality. And that's then when I moved to London. But that was where I first saw the appeal and what the industry can really be.
And I really think for us as an industry, having come back from lockdown, people did really appreciate the service that we were providing, and I think when we come back as well, service, it just can't be compromised. We still need to be able to do our jobs to the highest standards that we know to give people these lovely experiences. No, good. I mean, do you want to just maybe tell the audience just in brief, like the different types of businesses that you've worked for, because you've actually touched quite a few different areas of the trade.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the first sort of hospitality job that I ever had was in a golf club when I was 15, and that was really kind of doing all sorts of different things. Then I went on to work for Rick Stein down in Padstow at the seafood restaurant. I ran a chalet over a winter season, which I guess it's a different kind of hospitality altogether, and then moved to London. So I started out at Scott's, and then just before I left London, I was the assistant restaurant director at Jean-Georges at the Connaught. So I did the opening there. Went off traveling and gallivanting around the world for a year to try all the different foods and kinds of hospitality that the rest of the world has to offer. And then came back down to the Pig in Cornwall, which again is, a totally different kind of hospitality from what I was used to. Mayfair to Padstow is the difference is huge. But tried a little bit of everything, I guess. But so have you.
Yeah, I mean, my first job was pot washing in my uncle's restaurant. I loved it. I loved looking at all the chefs shouting and swearing. There was fires, and I mean, it was a very exciting environment to be in. And my first real job before university was a 4-star hotel. They were called the Handpicked Hotels Group. That was my deferred entry year for Bournemouth University. And I learned literally everything there, from housekeeping, reception, food and beverage, bar, banqueting. It was such an all-rounded experience. I even did breakfast chef for a couple of months there as well.
And that's a hard job.
which was really interesting. But I didn't burn any eggs either. But after that, obviously going to university, it changed everything, because very much in school, I was very focused on sports. And once I got into university to study what I wanted to build my career on, it was just so easy to be at university and study for the trade. And Bournemouth was amazing. And I just think, it helped me get into Le Manoir, which was my placement year, which for me, it was still, I always say it was my true education in the trade, working at Le Manoir. Very fond memories there, and working with such an amazing group of individuals who all over the world are probably working in the best restaurants and hotels. And then after returning from university, I remember jumping into Chewton Glen in the New Forest, incredibly busy hotel. It was so busy. I just remember all of the restaurant space being completely full there throughout the whole summer months, and a lot of learning. That was my first sort of supervisory role, was a head waiter there. and again moved back to London, different side of the trade. So from going from 4-star to 5-star to Michelin star, back to 5-star, then moving into contract catering with CH&Co, who just really looked after me. I had such a great learning experience with them, more on the management side, working for, law firms, Norton Rose Fulbright in the hospitality dining floor, which is probably one of the most beautiful spaces I've ever seen. Even compared to most of the places where we work, there are no expenses spared there. Working with great chefs, Simon Webb was there, really fond of him, working with him. He was a National Chef of the Year, a runner-up, and again, a completely different side of the business where it was more large events driven. With them, we did Buckingham House garden parties, and that company educated me far more in management at that point in my career, and helped me move on to my managerial role as general manager of the members club. So, which again was such a great experience before moving to Clifton House, meeting Andre, who I hope he's still listening. And again, an absolute beast of a property, such a huge operation, beautiful. And before returning to London again, to where I've been for the last 3 years at Corinthia London, where it's, again, such a massive operation. And we're always involved in exciting things. So it's been great. And tying that all together, how the Gold Service Scholarship helped us both get to these roles, because for me, if there's anyone listening who is a young person in industry that's looking for a chance, I feel the Gold Service Scholarship helps you stand out. And obviously by winning it, that helps it. There's no question there. But even if you're involved throughout the stages, the trustees, the judges who are all working in industry, they will notice. So it is an area of opportunity to stand out for sure.
I think it absolutely, it helps to build your confidence as well as being something that you can, it helps you stand out. It's something to talk about in interviews, and it's very widely recognised now at the moment as well. I absolutely think that I wouldn't have got the last few jobs that I got without having been able to talk about the experience that the Gold Scholarship has brought. And it's the people you meet as well, not only to meet the trustees who've got such a wealth of experience and knowledge in the industry, and their advice is just invaluable, but also meeting, people like you, people like ourselves. I think personally, not many of my friends from university, from home, not many of them are in hospitality. In fact, I think I'm the only person. So to then have a network of like-minded, similar-aged individuals, it's just something, that I wouldn't have had access to without having been part of the Gold Scholarship.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, and for me, obviously, since 2015, from there on, for every job that I've had, I've communicated with the senior trustees for a bit of support, a bit of guidance and mentoring, and it's really supported me go forwards. And like you say, all these friendships that are generated will help us as we continue it in our career.
Definitely.
Other things to tell people, obviously the trips you go on are incredible, lots of fun. What was your favorite trip?
Gosh, it's so hard to choose, isn't it? I think just by coincidence, the year that I won, I think I ended up going on 3 champagne trips in really close. And I think I went to Champagne 3 times in 1 year, and it was just incredible. And each trip was so different. I mean, we did the most amazing trip to Champagne with GH Martel and tried some incredible wines, and, stayed in a beautiful chateau and really had access to, the winemakers and the small families who owned the various properties. And it was absolutely incredible to be able to see, I don't know, the effort and the commitment and everything that goes into producing wine. I also went to Bangkok to do a stage at the Mandarin Oriental, which was incredible. And I learned a lot there. I was there for almost a week, and I spent a day in every one of their food and beverage outlets, which was just, it's not something that I would ever have been able to do without being part of the Gold Scholarship.
And what do you, I mean, just maybe to tie that all in, what's been the main factor for you that's helped you in your career by doing the Gold Service? Like, if you had to identify one thing that's helped you from joining?
That's really difficult because there's so many things. I think it's just being able to talk to people about the experiences that we've had, to potential employers in interviews, to be able to explain what it is that we've been part of. I think that's been the main thing that's helped me to develop personally. And, you know, like I said, it's helped me, you know, probably to apply to jobs that I wouldn't have necessarily had the confidence to apply for without being pushed by the Gold Scholarship. Or it's just that confidence booster, I think. I'd say that's probably what's helped me the most. But what about you?
Yeah, I think, like you say, the confidence. When you enter the Gold Service, we were doing things that necessarily we wouldn't do in our day-to-day jobs. So for me, the challenge of, you know, really thinking, okay, I'm actually going to be watched and marked for my work. So it added the pressure, and for me, it was, you know, getting more involved in wine carvings. We weren't really doing a lot of that anymore at that stage, and it was just to re sort of jig the memories of doing it, and adding those additional skills to what you would do. You know, I think
definitely pushes you to do things that you would never have done before. That's for sure. I don't think I ever worked anywhere where I had to do any like tableside carvery or anything like that.
I mean, Piers has asked the question, so we're not ticking one of his boxes properly for him.
Oh no.
The Piers has said, how important has the Gold Service Scholarship Network been to you?
Well, I mean, I think it's invaluable, you know. I mean, it's easy to say we've all become really good friends, and I think to have a group of people that are all the same age, and, you know, we can bounce ideas off each other, and, you know, there's people who've been in the industry longer, who did the first round of the Gold Scholarship, who we can go to for advice. It's just nice having a group of people who, you know, we can talk to and who understand what we're going through, especially now with the C word, COVID. It's nice to know how, you know, how you're dealing with it where you work, how Jen's dealing with it where she works. It's nice to have the option to be able to speak to people in the same roles that we're in.
Yeah, I mean, I'd completely agree. I mean, how many times have we all spoken about this? Oh, what are you doing? You know, when I came down to see you at the Pig, you know, it's just incredible. It's like the industry is so small. Wherever you go, you know someone from the finalists, you know, or not even just the finalists, the people who enter. Everyone, you can just go to any restaurant in London and somehow someone has been involved in the Gold Service Scholarship. And I mean, to answer Piers' question on my behalf, I just think just knowing you have that support network where you can text, you know, someone like, you know, Edward or Silvano or Sergio, John Davey, you know, I'm lucky I get to work with Thomas on a daily basis, so I can speak to Thomas, and just to have these people around that can offer that sound advice. Yeah. So what does the future hold for you post COVID? It will come to an end. It will come to an end. What's the career goal?
Soon. It's a hard one, you know. We've only just really, I mean, with all the lockdowns, it really feels like we've only been open at the Pig at Harlem Bay for a matter of months now. So obviously the immediate future is, you know, improving the restaurant there, working on things, you know, making it smooth. We'll be going into our second summer of being open. And obviously the first summer we weren't able to do it as 100% planned because of lockdowns and everything. So I think, you know, in the immediate future, it's just focusing on the Pig and making sure that we can get that up and running as smoothly as we can do post-lockdown. In the future, the distant future, I would still like to maybe one day have my own place with Lucas. That's the dream, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon, I don't think. I think there's a lot to focus on at the Pig first in the next few years. Yeah,
I mean, well, the Pig's very lucky to have both of you. I mean, do you want to maybe tell the viewers who Lucas is? I'm sure he's sitting on the sofa saying, can you tell you what?
No, he's in the garage. I've banished him. Yeah, Lucas is my fiance and deputy general manager, so also my boss. And it was actually Lucas who first encouraged me to apply for the Gold Service Scholarship back in 2017, because he was a finalist the year that Daniele won. So also in hospitality and also at the Pig.
There we go. All right. I mean, do you have any questions, Steph?
I think you've almost covered our list, but I can't believe you said that you've been at the Corinthia for 3 years now. I can't believe how quickly that's flown by.
Time has flown by. This Christmas was going to be the 4th Christmas festive season, which is always just huge at the hotel.
I bet you can't wait to reopen.
Yeah, and again, we have our calls with management, and we're all very engaged with the teams, and looking ahead, trying to guess when that reopening time could be, and seeing what we'll do.
And looking ahead, what about your future?
I mean, for me, like I said, I've bounced in lots of different parts of the sector, but I feel very much engaged in hotel operation. Targets in the future are still to be hopefully MD of a hotel one day, but keep progressing through the food and beverage side of things. I'm still loving it, so that's my angle.
Good news. I'm sure you'll get there.
All right, so all the panicking, we've done more than 15 minutes now, so we're on 20. But we want to say thank you to everyone that has been watching.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it. Thank you for all the support, and thank you, Steph, for joining us this evening. And we look forward to the next installment of the Instagram Live series with the Gold Service Scholarship.
Thanks, Daniele.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.